This is Keith Price's Curtain Call. This is Keith Price for the Curtain Call, and we are back here for another one of our wonderful podcasts. And again, this is the opportunity for you to get to meet theater professionals, as well as working actors that are doing everything that they can to keep working. How you doing? And we are very lucky because every now and then you get to meet people that you don't know, that I kind of don't know, but if I do a little research because I have the papers in front of me, right? And we get to sit and just chat and talk to these wonderful young working professionals that are doing what many of us wish we could be doing. Isn't that right, Giuseppe? Oh my God. So for today's podcast, we are very lucky and very excited to have, first of all, y'all, I'm just going to tell you right now, only because I appreciate the art. The artistry that is this young man, Giuseppe Bausilio. How about that, huh?
That was really good, actually.
Thank you. Giuseppe Bausilio is here, who has just finished a run right now. He literally just finished his run in Aladdin, and he's going to be off to parts that we can't talk about because they're not really solidified yet. But this young man, you need to be looking for him. Get it? Because I know you're listening and you're Googling right now, Giuseppe, Giuseppe Bausilio, Bausilio. How you doing, mister?
I am wonderful.
See? You weren't expecting all of that, right?
Yeah, that's awesome, actually.
Oh, my God. So here you are. I'm telling you, I did a little of the research. Your publicist hooked me up with some little clips and stuff of you. And I got to say,
I hope they're all good clips.
They're all good clips.
Okay, good.
Great clips. But wow, young man. And I say that because I am probably about as old as your mom. Hey, how you doing? But she looks way better than I do. Anyway, so you... So you, young man, you are literally the triple threat. You're acting, you're singing.
I'd like to think so, yeah.
And dancing. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. You've been dancing since at the age of 4?
Yeah, I started dancing when I was 4 years old, or, well, basically out the womb.
Did he come jumping out? Did he do a jeté right out of the...
I mean, let's say I didn't really have a choice at that point.
Yeah.
You know, both my parents are ballet dancers.
That explains why she looks younger than me.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so both my parents are ballet dancers.
Uh-huh.
My brother is a ballet dancer with the Paris Opera.
Wow. Is he older or younger?
Older, 28. And my sister, she's a carpenter. Yep, the boys dance, the girl does carpentry.
She does carpentry? You know what? I'm not going to do it. Don't tell me she wears plaid because then it's going to be on. Giuseppe Bausilio with me here on the Curtain Call. First of all, you have a nice little resume of Broadway, which I found to be very exciting. You were in Newsies.
I was.
Which, if anyone who's listening, and I'm sure there's lots of young teenage girls that are listening, I'm hoping, you know that show was a very dance-heavy show.
It was.
And, this young man, if you go to GiuseppeBausilio.com and look at some of the clips of this young man dancing, you will be as impressed and as awed as I was, because I don't think I've ever seen, your parents are both dancers, so they pretty much had you, walking up straight, holding your stomach in as you were from like 2, right?
All the time.
And it completely shows. It's like, how have you not rebelled against dancing? Because that's what most teenagers are supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be doing what your parents were doing. What's
right,
up with
that's
that?
true.
I like your sister already.
No, I mean, but my sister, she also started out dancing for a while, and then she just decided it wasn't for her. I started out, dancing, and of course also doing other things. Like I used to play soccer, but then my mom said, "Okay, Giuseppe, I want to see you play like Maradona, who's an Argentinian player way back in the day, and the ball just like sticks to your body, and it's like dance basically,
right?
But with a ball."
Wow.
And after 2 days of trying, I kind of decided, yeah, this isn't for me. So I just went back to dancing, and
I just got hit by the ball when I was a kid. I was like, I don't like this. This hurts.
I couldn't dribble it. It's just not good.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but I really started taking dance seriously when I was around 8 years old. Is when I started doing my first dance competition. My very first one, actually. I remember I won second place, and I was upset.
Oh.
because I didn't win first.
Ooh, child, that competitive spirit. How you doing? Which is why he's has 3 shows of credit of Broadway and I don't. Go ahead.
The next competition I actually did win first finally, which was really exciting. Then at 11, or I think at 10 years old, I came to the United States to do YAGP, Youth America Grand Prix, which is the largest student ballet competition in the world.
Wow.
They hold semifinals all over the world in Asia, America, North America, South America, Europe, everywhere. And I did the semifinals in Europe, in Italy, and I won first. Then I came to the United States to do the finals. I won 3rd place.
And you were mad.
Then when it's like world level based, it's pretty cool.
It's a local thing that pisses you off. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then actually Nora Brennan, the kids casting director for Billy Elliot, the musical, she saw me there and after asked me to audition for the role of Billy. And 6 months later, I was doing Billy. I actually started my run. I started my run in Chicago. I did it for 8 months on Broadway in Chicago at the Oriental Theater. Then went all across the country for another 8 months. And then at 14, had my Broadway debut as Billy.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Do you people hear that? Do you understand how hard Giuseppe has had to work just to have that moment? Okay, so here you are now. You're 14 and you're debuting on Broadway.
It was insane. Yeah. It was really, really insane. I remember, to leave everything behind. I was 11. I came to the United States, new country, new language. I didn't speak English at the time. I auditioned with head nods. Wow. Just saying yes and no with my head when they asked me questions. Can you tap? Yeah, with my head. And just, so I just kept doing that. And finally, what came for the big audition, I couldn't tap at the first audition. I couldn't really tap. I couldn't really do gymnastics that well. They sent me back to Switzerland. I actually remember that day I missed my flight back to Switzerland. The next day we were able to get on a flight though. 3 months later, they asked me to come back to do the big audition with all the Billies.
Wow.
And right after the audition, she pulled me outside. My parents finally got here and she said, Giuseppe, you're our next Billy. And I died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Giuseppe Bausilio.
It was amazing.
Man.
And of course, just stepping out of the subway, my first time when I was 11, just stepping out into 42nd Street, 8th Avenue or Broadway and 7th Avenue, just looking at all the lights. And it was 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on a summer day, and just wow. It was incredible.
Man.
Seeing all those lights, all the billboards, it looked like it was midday,
Wow. God, Giuseppe.
Yeah.
So, you come into this now at 11 and your mom's here with us.
Yes.
Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. You can say
Hi,
hello.
everybody.
And how difficult do you think it was? I mean, you're clearly a very special case by being here. You're clearly away from home. You're away from your family. How hard was it for you to really take all of that in? Because you had those other dynamics going on.
At the time, I didn't really realize how difficult it was. It was mostly, really amazing, everything. The whole experience of just moving to the United States, doing Broadway, it was amazing. And everybody always told me that right after Billy, everybody's going to want you, agents and stuff, they're going to love you, blah, 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 this and that. And fortunately, that wasn't the case because, I'd never auditioned before. First of all, I didn't know how to audition.
Young man.
Second of all, I never really took voice lessons. Finally, at 14, I started taking voice lessons. I never acted before. All my experience was basically Billy Elliot. The only thing I knew how to do very well was ballet and dance and hip hop and tap now. And but I just kept working. I kept working as hard as I could. We stuck around. I ended up doing at 15. I played Melchior in an off-Broadway production of Spring Awakening.
Oh man!
Yeah, at the Barrow Group Theater with Marvel Repertory, I think. Yeah, that's it. And at 16, I was cast in Newsies.
Again.
Yeah.
So with very little experience, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, I was luckily enough, right after I was on tour with Billy, and my mom actually met with Betty Buckley's mom in Dallas at the opening.
Billy Bob. What's her name? Billy Bob? Betty Buckley.
Betty Buckley.
Betty Buckley, but her mom is Billy Bob.
Billy Bob, yeah.
Billy Bob, yeah.
That's right. And so they just started talking, and my mom mentioned that I didn't have an agent, and she said, "Oh, let me get you in touch with Betty's agent." So I did. I ended up signing with him, and everything was great. I was with them for 3 years. They were really, really nice. Stewart Talent, and yeah.
Yes, my mom was talking to Betty Buckley's mom, and
honestly,
just randomly,
a lot of things that have happened are pretty insane. Just randomly. For example, one day we were sitting at Linda Lavin's show.
Let me just pick up these names, Shaw.
There's more.
But this is like my generation of names. I'm like, how dare you? I can't with you. Oh my God.
So we were sitting at Linda Lavin's show at the Metropolitan Room, and there were 4 seats at the theater, or in the room, and my mom and I, having taken up 2, and then our friends we went with taken up the other 2, and they weren't together. So we went to sit with one person. So at the end of the show, Linda Lavin, she said, and last but definitely not least, I would love to thank the person who really started my career and has just been amazing to me all through my life, Hal Prince.
What?
Everybody started turning to our table.
And there you are sitting next to Hal Prince?
Right in front of Hal Prince.
Wow.
We have been talking to him for an hour.
And you had no idea who he was?
No idea, because I'm from Switzerland. I don't. It's really hard to. It was really difficult. I had to learn a lot. Definitely, I basically missed 11 years of things I could have learned in America.
But you know what? You learned them while you were here.
Yes, I did.
Hello.
Yes, I did.
That to me that's the genius of it, Giuseppe. Come on. How then you're sitting at the table and there's Hal Prince.
And there's Hal Prince.
And you have no idea who he is. You have no idea that he's got 23 Tonys. You have no idea that...
Absolutely no idea.
Like...
We were just talking to him for an hour. And, him and I think it was his wife, or... No, his wife was sick at the time. It was a friend of his. And, so we just started talking to him for an hour, and then that... Yeah.
Wow. So then, okay. So what kind of conversations do you have with Hal Prince when you don't know who he is?
We literally talked about everything. Apparently, he had a house somewhere in France that we always passed through when we went to vacation to visit my brother in Paris, and just talking about life and things.
Oh, by the way, here's my resume. I have my audition tape right here.
It was so funny. Everybody was walking out of the room. We just sat down.
Right.
Linda Levins came to sit next to us, and everybody's walking out, and they're looking at us.
You have no idea who Linda Lavin is. Really?
I mean, not really. I didn't really know at the time what she had done. I had seen her in one Broadway show, which I loved, called The Lions.
Yes.
Yeah, which was at the Court Theater. Yep,
yes.
Exactly. I loved her
with
in
the
that.
Dying husband.
Everything.
Yes, come on.
So funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was really interesting. Everybody was walking out, and they were nodding at us and just being like really nice. They were like, "Oh, hi, yes, you guys must be important." And we're
because you're sitting next to Hal Prince.
Exactly.
Giuseppe.
It was really funny.
Giuseppe. You tell me the story now, and what makes me laugh, because there are people in this business that you're in that I kind of sort of in, but mostly you, that would have stabbed you in the throat to sit that close to Hal Prince.
Yes.
And you had no idea who he was.
It's incredible. I think in this business, you definitely have to have a lot of luck as well, as talent, as work ethic, as everything. But a lot of it is also luck, being in the right place at the right time, just happened to be there. And,
there's someone who I'm not sure if you're familiar with, Oprah.
Who's that?
Well, one of the things that I remember from Oprah is that she, in many of her conversations that she's had with many famous people all the time, is that she used to say that luck really is preparation and opportunity when it meets.
Yeah,
and
that's very true.
For you being, clearly as prepared, you're a Broadway show with 2 down, wink, wink, and there's Hal Prince sitting there. It's like that moment truly could have changed your life in a different direction.
Oh, it could have, absolutely.
If you had only known who he was when you sat down next to him,
Right.
there's a whole other avenue that you could have gone.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that you, at least from my impression of you, that I'm sitting here with you in this room, and having your mom, hey mom, having your mom here, that there's a definite, genuine, just a genuine energy of you that is just, I just happen to be this fantastic dancer, great singer, actor. But, I'm hanging out with my mom and we're going out and, just seeing shows because that's what, kids with their moms do when they're in New York. But at the same time, you're so much more than that. And no, not to blow you up, but I mean you're in a place right now like you just closed your show, you got other things that are popping that we can't talk about, but some of them are cute. I'm just saying. Remember Giuseppe Bausilio. Just remember that name because he'll be back. From what I gather, maybe I don't know.
I'd like to hope so.
He'll be back, but you have this wonderful legacy behind you. It's like, what do you look forward to doing?
Honestly, I really, really look forward to one day hopefully winning an EGOT, getting all of them. That's the biggest aspiration, and it's
okay.
It's a lot to say. It's a lot to say. Only the best get an EGOT, but that would be incredible.
Well, but I want you to think about the fact that that is the reward of the career, but that means then you really want to do the work that's going to get you to that place where you're in the contentions for those. But at the same time, don't spend your time. Listen to me. This is Uncle Keith talking. I was talking to you. Tio Keith is saying to you that you live in the moment of just doing what you're getting to do.
Right.
You realize, as I said, you've got Broadway shows under your belt. You are sitting and hobnobbing with Hal Prince and you don't even know it. Linda Lavin is there. Your mom's talking to Betty Buckley's mother. You're in a very rarefied place.
Right.
That clearly your talent is there. That's one of the reasons why you're there. Clearly your disposition is one of the reasons that you're there. Clearly you've been raised very well because mom is here and you're not showing out. Don't let me find out at 21 you're like falling out of clubs because there's going to be me and you fighting. You have to take your mother to take me off of you. But you're in this place where you are having the life and a career of an actor that many wish, have worked a lot longer than you.
Oh, yeah.
Have worked a lot harder than you. Yeah. And they don't have that.
Right.
And so, as you say that looking forward to being an EGOT, that's a wonderful goal to have.
Yeah.
But I hope that in the process of wanting that goal, you really are looking at wanting to do great work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have that ability. That's
right. I mean, ultimately the end goal, is getting the EGOT, but it's not about the EGOT to say, that's where I would love to see myself, in 20, 30 years or something. But the actual thing is definitely the work. It's so many times, I take acting with Susan Batson, and with her, if you don't do the work, it's not worth it. Yeah. It's not worth it. And she's opened my eyes to so many things, and she's just helped me just open up my instrument.
Yeah. Well, what kinds of things have you, now that you've had the audience with Hal Prince? I can't stop saying that. Now that you've had audience with Hal Prince, have you taken the time to go back and find out more about him?
I have, yes, definitely. I ended up knowing that he did X amount of shows, a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So,
still doing them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's really, it's not really surprising at this point.
Say that again, Mama. Oh,
yeah, we did.
Mama said they met him a second time. Because that's how they hobnob in this town, these kids.
No, it was really cool. Yeah. And he was, he was a lovely person.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love that. I've met a lot of people that have very, very big credits in everything. And, they haven't been the nicest. And then you're kind of like, oh, okay. All right.
See, you know what? That was one of the questions that I had, unceremoniously wrote down as a thing to talk to you about, because you've had this really wonderful career. Like, at this point, what's been some of the best advice you've gotten?
I always get really, really good advice from my mom. I gotta say, I get the best advice from her. I've gotten, actually. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna say this one.
It.
So the first one is, be like a horse, have your flaps on, just go forward to one spot where you want to go. Don't turn right, don't turn left. Keep going forward. Pick one spot, and that's it.
Wow.
That's the one you gotta go. If you turn right, if you turn left, that's where you're gonna lose yourself.
It's kind of like when you're dancing and you're doing your turns, and you have to have that one thing that you're focusing on, the spot.
You better spot.
Wow, because you'll get dizzy and fall over.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then another.
Oh, Mama, go ahead.
Right.
All right.
Another incredible advice I got. This was actually on Sunday when I closed my run in Aladdin. James Eigelhart.
Oh, my friend.
He's amazing. I mean,
James Monroe. He's the bomb.
He's incredible. He came up to me
Tony
after the
Award
show.
winning.
Yes,
James
2014 Tony Award winning.
Exactly.
James Eigelhart Monroe. James Monroe Eigelhart. Sorry. And he came up to me after the show and he said, Giuseppe, keep that young youth and keep that energy you have, because everybody I've worked with can tell you this. I'm very energetic.
Yeah.
I have a lot of energy. I like to. I definitely don't like to hold it in. I have to be able to let it out somehow. So,
wow.
I'll be jumping backstage right before I go on or something, to get me going. But he said, Giuseppe, don't lose that youth, because people don't grow up; they grow old.
Yep. That's it.
And that's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you, mister.
Yeah,
wow.
So that kind of really opened my eyes, actually. It really, it kind of left me baffled.
Really?
Yeah. It was kind of like, wait, that's so true.
It is.
That's
so
true. If you don't lose that youth, nothing can stop you. You're always going to be young.
Well, you're always going to be young, and you're always going to want to do more.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You don't get tired because you're old.
That's the ambition of youth.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much youth out there that's maybe not as ambitious, or maybe there's even people who are crazy ambitious. But ambition is definitely an incredible thing.
Well, having the ambition, not having the direction. Yeah. Having the ambition and not having the support like you have with your mother. I mean,
I've been very, very, very blessed and lucky.
Very blessed.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear you say that, because I think that one of the things that for me is always a very sad thing to see someone that has as much talent and stuff like you, and them not either getting the opportunity, them not having the support, they're not getting the opportunities. Right. To be, sitting next to Al Prince. Right. Again, I keep coming back to that. I'm gonna let it go, Giuseppe. I swear to God. But it's a wonderful thing to see, and it's a wonderful thing to acknowledge, and it's a wonderful thing to be present in.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that that's kind of where you are right now.
Yeah. I definitely live in the moment. I know, I had to give up a lot of things at a very young age to do what I love and to be here, but also, I don't know many parents who would have done that for their kid. I really do not know many parents, because my parents, we have 2 ballet schools in Switzerland, one here in the United States, on 43rd and 8th, actually. And my dad takes care of 2 in Switzerland, and my mom is here trying to raise a kid who's be in trouble. Just kidding.
You're energetic. You're just energetic.
I have a lot of energy, and running a school, and then being away from her husband for 6+ years. My brother living in Paris, Where
does your sister live?
In Switzerland.
Okay. Does she fix stuff at the school?
She has fixed things. Yes, she's fixed the chair, I think.
I have to ask. I'm sorry. I guess Susan didn't tell you how silly I am too.
Right? No, I love it. It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, at the end of the day, I haven't been really able to see my dad for the past 6 years. I see him every 2 or 3 months, and I would have loved to see him more.
Right.
But unfortunately, I had to give up certain things to gain other things.
And again, they're also encouraging of you being able to do that. Oh
yeah, absolutely. Every day, they tell me, keep going, keep doing it, keep doing it.
Do you feel like those things that you've missed, do you feel bad that you've missed them?
Not at all, actually. I went I never got, for example, the high school experience.
Mm-hmm.
I never got that.
Sometimes a little overrated, but
Right.
you know,
That's
just saying.
yeah.
I mean, it was fun and everything, but it was a different time for me.
Right. You know, I was doing shows when I was at that age, and it was amazing. You know, I was homeschooled or online schooled.
Right.
I did that, and I missed out on the high school experience, but that's okay.
But you know what? The experiences that you have just right now,
Right.
Anybody that's listening to this, including me sitting in the room, if they're pretending that they're not envious of it, they're lying. Okay? I'm just going to say it. They're lying. So, you know, again, yes, you missed the prom. Yes, you may have missed, you know, after school activities, but clearly,
right.
you know, dancing 8 hours a day probably
that was after school activity enough for me.
School, yeah. But at the same time, you are in a place now where the fruits of all of that labor that you put into it, you're getting to actually enjoy it now.
Right. Actually, another incredible advice I've gotten from my mom, she always says, cry today, laugh tomorrow.
All right, Mama.
That's another one.
I always let me write this down. Let me cry today, laugh tomorrow.
And if you think about it, it really is true, because you know a lot of kids my age right now, you know, we want to go out and party, and you know I've told my mom this before. I'm like, Mom, I want to go out, and she's like, Nope,
you're not going.
Nope, you're not going anywhere.
Thank you.
You're gonna stay indoors, and you're gonna not cause trouble, and you're not gonna get into trouble.
Because again, you know, you're now at the age where you kind of can do what you want to do.
Right.
But as I'm standing here looking at your mother right now, yeah. See? Look, I wish you could put the camera on her. She is giving that look like, oh no, honey. You will not be showing out. You will not embarrass me. We have worked because you've worked way too hard.
Yes, and they
to
have
do all of
you
these
know?
things, to do this, and they have sacrificed a lot for you to be able to have these wonderful experiences that you're having now. And you know, to be so honest with you, when you reach a certain age level, like let's say mine, because I'm old, and you have lived your life getting to do what you love, those things aren't going to really matter.
Right.
You know, and you're going to, you know, find the right person along the way that's going to understand that that's what you do, because that's also a part of the experience too, that you should be able to have that as well. But, you know, hopefully you won't get lost in all of that, because you now have the opportunity to do those things. But, you know, young man, just enjoy yourself. Like this is a really good, wonderful time for you. And I'm so glad that, you know, even in this small little sphere of my life, I get to say that to you, because, you know, I may never see you again after today. Right. And, you know, but I'll be watching for you just like everybody else will be watching for Giuseppe Bausilio. Bausilio.
Yes.
That you will look for this young man, because it's very clear that there are lots of really great things ahead for you. Right. And, you know, this is the time now that I like, because I like getting to meet people on their way up having this moment, because, you know, there's a lot of broken people that I'll probably be talking to too. And we'll try to make it pop. But it's really nice to have this kind of exchange with somebody who's clearly having that life that all of us are envious of. I mean, you know, I wish my mother would have taken me to an audition or two, God rest her soul. But, you know, that was not in the plans then for me, but clearly they are for you. And so I hope that people that are listening right now to the Curtain Call will make an effort to get to know who you are now. And, you know, I mean, and be a part of watching someone really develop into this wonderful talent that I'm pretty sure you're going to end up being. I mean, you're doing pretty good now. And you got James Monroe Iglehart giving you advice. He hasn't given me any advice except for, get out of my way. No. No. James Monroe and he's truly like the twin brother that I never had. Right. So, but you guys, you're having a wonderful time. And I want you to, for those of you listening, to take the effort to go find Giuseppe Bausilio. That's GiuseppeBausilio.com. Follow him on what's your Twitter handle again?
My Twitter at @GBausilio.
Just look at that. See how easy?
And my Instagram is Giuseppe Bausilio. And what else do I have? Snapchat at @GBausilio.
very simple. Bausilio.
Yes.
Just look him up. You'll find him and you'll love him. I'm telling you. He's adorable. And again, I'm, probably have to lock up a few daughters. I'm just saying, Mom, because, honey, he's 18 now, girl. It's going to be a hard sell to try to hold that down.
Ooh.
But I think she's got, Mom looks like she can, look at the boots.
Right?
She'll take you down.
Yeah.
She'll take
she
you
will.
down.
Yes, she will.
So again, Giuseppe, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I'm
Thank you so
glad to see and meet somebody that's having this wonderful moment. I think this is great. No, I'm in all seriousness, I am thrilled that I'm getting the opportunity to see you now. And hopefully, this will be one of many more conversations that we're going to have in your long, illustrious career. And you won't forget me, because that's what happens. They get bigger and then they just leave. He's just going to leave and he's never going to call. And I'll be devastated. I'll be standing outside like, your next big event. I'll just be standing in the crowd just crying. Giuseppe won't call me. So.
And I'll look at you and I'll say, hey, Keith, security. Get him.
Oh, wow. See? Look, he's already knows what to do. Damn, Mom, you taught him well. All right. So, again, Giuseppe Bausilio, thank you so much for spending time with me. And,
thank you.
Again, you never know who you're going to get to meet and talk to in this podcast. This is fantastic. So, hopefully, you're listening, you're hanging out, and you'll be surprised who's going to show up next. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
All right. And we will be back.